be sparking and rushing, man, like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a major update for the Boruto anime. So obviously, if you've not seen Boruto episode 219, you definitely want to watch 219 because I'm going to be talking about some of the anime original scenes that were added into the story. And like I talked about in the review, I said, hey, the stuff that's revealed in here deserves its own video to look at and look at the ramifications of it. So obviously, watch that and then come back to this video. So getting right into it, the writer for the Boruto anime, the lead writer, has done such a good job when doing the script and making it very clear that, like, hey, I understand a lot of the questions that people have in the fandom. Let me address these in the anime. Let me plug in some of the holes that the manga had. And one of the things that we got in this last episode is when Sakura is running the test on Naruto and Sasuke, she directly tells Naruto, you no longer have superhuman chakra. So it wasn't enough that Kurama said in episode 218 that, like, you're no longer going to have superhuman strength. This had to be broken down even further. And like I talked about in the episode review, I said, like, hey, prior to this, I was on the side of there's a possibility that Naruto could still access the small bits of bijuu chakra from the other 8 bijuu outside of Kurama. But when I made my video about how strong is Naruto without the 9 tails, and I kept saying, like, hey, he's gotten stronger since it was stated that he was somebody who had 4 times the chakra reserves of Kakashi. I said, even when you take that out of it, the fact is that Naruto has this massive chakra reserve, and if it's possible that he has some of the other bijuu chakra, Naruto's going to be somebody that's an absolute powerhouse. Well, in the episode review for 218, I said, well, the bijuu were there, and that leads me to believe that they're showing us, like, yo, the bijuu chakra got burned up as well. And so when Sakura's running this test, even though it's a small bit of bijuu chakra, if it was there, if it was chakra other than Naruto's, she would have made that distinction. The fact is that it's still quite a bit of chakra. It's a considerable amount. In one of the light novels that was done after the war, and as a reminder, quite a few of the novels were adapted after the end of the 4th Great Ninja War into the anime. Well, in one of the light novels, one of the things that we get is we find out that Naruto has a considerable amount of bijuu chakra from the other 8 bijuu. Enough so to where I believe it's Sakura who asked Naruto, is the bijuu chakra inside of him messing up? And that's when, and I'm damn near quoting verbatim, but that's when the narrator says that on top of having the 9 tails inside of him, Naruto also had vestiges of chakra from the other 8-tailed beasts as well. The fact is that if Sakura's running that test on Naruto, if there would have been other bits of bijuu chakra inside of him, Sakura would have picked it up on the test that she was using. Because again, we know from the light novels that Konoha has detailed records on Naruto. So Sakura has a before and after to be able to compare when it comes to Naruto, especially when it comes to measuring his chakra levels. So if Sakura's saying there's no superhuman chakra left, that rules out all of the bijuu. And that's a huge game changer right there. Because this is essentially saying that Naruto is going to have to rely on his God-given power that he was born with. And as a reminder, Naruto has enormous chakra reserves without Kurama. I've seen people panic and everything. That's why I made the video last year about how much weaker is Naruto without the 9 tails, because people underestimate Naruto's chakra reserves. Again, back during the Akatsuki suppression arc, just Naruto by himself without Kurama had chakra reserves 4 times that of Kakashi's. Kakashi was considered to be an elite Jonin. Naruto's only grown stronger since then. Yes, you can't use chakra as like a power level, like how you have a Dragon Ball and you have scouters and everything, but people forget that chakra can be used to augment all of your physical stats. People like Naruto who have monster chakra levels, and people like Naruto who have perfect chakra control. They don't have to choose what they're going to use their chakra for. So regular shinobi have to take the chakra and say, am I going to amp up my physical stats, or I'm going to use this chakra for using my ninjutsu? Naruto can do both and still have chakra left over. The fact is that all that stuff you saw Naruto do in part 1 in the early parts of the Shippuden series, that was a situation where Naruto was just burning through so much chakra to perform all those jutsu, and the fact that he was still able to keep going after the fact, especially when he stopped relying on Kurama's chakra and was still accomplishing so much insane stuff, that's giving you a rough starting point to use for Naruto. Again, you have to take into consideration the power cliffing that goes on between the end of the Naruto manga and the start of the Boruto era. That's why I say it's very important that you read a lot of these light novels, because a lot of stuff people claim to be plot holes get addressed in a lot of those novels. But the fact is that Naruto trained for 13 years before he became Hokage and stopped. And then once the Shin Uchiha stuff took place, that's when Naruto started back training again. So I mean, Naruto right now is still extremely powerful, and you don't have to look any further than the battle against Fused Momoshiki, where Naruto only had 50% of his chakra, and in his base he was able to dodge attacks by Fused Momoshiki, tank attacks by Fused Momoshiki, get back up and continue fighting. That's Naruto at 50% of his chakra levels. If he would have had his full power, the full 100% power of his base, he would have done twice as good. Again, he still would have got stumped, but he has Sage Mode in his back pocket. Sage Mode, just to attempt to learn the training, you have to have monster chakra reserves. So Naruto's gonna be okay. I think people are panicking right now, and I've seen people say that Sage Mode Naruto from the Pain arc absolutely destroys Naruto. You're smoking if you say that. I digress, because I don't want to turn this into a versus battle. That's not necessarily my forte, but what I will say is the fact that sticking to the lore and being consistent, one of the things that the manga directly tells us is that Amado says it is impossible to calculate Naruto's power without the Nine Tails. And what Amado is basically saying right there is essentially, we don't know how strong Naruto is right now. And I think that that's accurate, because Naruto's never had to rely just solely on his own chakra since he's become Hokage. So we get the opportunity to see how Naruto's able to utilize that perfect chakra control that he has, chakra control that goes well beyond his mother and father, but also because Sage Mode does not have a set multiplier. Naruto's on a sliding scale to where he can perform better or he can perform worse than what fan expectations are. It really, and I hate using this as an example, but it really goes down to plot, and it's one of those things where Naruto's in the same situation that Kakashi and Might Guy were in. Kakashi and Might Guy all throughout the Naruto manga, even though it focused on the progression of Naruto and Team 7, Kakashi and Might Guy were continually getting power creeps. It's one of those things to where you're gonna see Naruto in that same situation where if he fights against Code this first time, he might end up doing worse, and then the next time Naruto ends up using Sage Mode. The real question we're gonna end up having right here is, are we in a situation where when Naruto uses Sage Mode, do we see pigmentation around his eyes? If we see pigmentation around his eyes, that means the Sage of Six Paths mode that Hagoromo gave to Naruto, that's gone. People get this mistaken. So Sage of Six Paths mode and Six Paths power are two separate power-ups. Sage of Six Paths mode is what Naruto used in his base when he was fighting against Madara, when he speed blitzed the Truth Seeking Orb and kicked it away. The Magatamas on the back and the Truth Seeking Orbs and the levitation and the flight, none of that is Sage of Six Paths mode. If you want to see if he's in that Sage of Six Paths mode, you just need to look at his eyes. And Naruto used that power when he fought against Ishiki Otsutsuki. The anime deliberately showed you Naruto powering up and going through his forms before he attacked Ishiki. Well, the fact is that if we see Naruto and he says he's going all out, and he's in Sage Mode and he's got pigment, then Naruto's now lost his Sage of Six Paths mode. So that means Naruto's going to be a lot weaker than what we saw him with, but I don't think that he's a senior citizen like a lot of you guys are saying. As far as I'm concerned, the last Boruto episode confirmed two things. So it confirmed something I said a year ago that I thought was a possibility, which was Naruto was going to be in a situation where, because Kurama's gone, he can't access that sanctuary that Kurama oversaw, and that the other bijuu chakra that was inside of him got burned up. It looks like that was something that did happen because, again, Sakura says that there's no superhuman chakra left. People have to remember, Boruto chapter 1 tells us the first part of Boruto's story is the story of he and his father. Boruto specifically says this is not the story of the boy who wanted to be Hokage. That guy's story is over. At the very beginning of the story, that guy played a huge part in the story, but while it is the story of he and his father, it eventually transitions over to being just Boruto's story. That's where we're at right now. Naruto is betting very heavily on Boruto being 80% Otsutsuki and having that huge power that stacks on top of his base. We're starting that transition to where Boruto is going to have to get trained up. His base is going to have to make that same leap that Naruto's base did, where Naruto at the end of part 1 of Naruto went from somebody who had a technical rank of gaining but had power levels that put him above special Jonin level. If you look at the way that the special Jonin struggle against the Sound 4, Naruto was significantly stronger than the Sound 4 once he started using the power of the nine-tailed fox when he fought against Sasuke. Naruto was then going up against the Akatsuki members, people who are on Hokage tier. Naruto jumped up in power quite a bit in only 2.5 years of training under Kakashi. Boruto right now not only has the privilege of being trained by Sasuke, but Naruto's also seeing an active role in Boruto's training. So it's one of those things where the stronger Boruto's base gets and the more Boruto's able to tap into Momoshiki's power, they're using karma and Boruto having Otsutsuki DNA and being able to use Momoshiki's power on top of his own as a way to start the process of surpassing Naruto. So I'm going to close out by saying this. A lot of people are stuck in Shippuden. The story has continued. As hard as that is to swallow, the story has continued. And with the way that the anime handled Naruto and Sasuke being depowered and the way that they handled Kurama's goodbye and the way they gave you that closure, I personally, as somebody who's been a fan of this franchise since the early 2000s, I'm completely okay with where we're at. There are some things I think could have been done differently, but it's one of those things where I'm waiting to see how the payoff goes. So what I want to know from you guys is, if you had to rank Naruto now, without the power of the Nine Tails and only Sage Mode, where would you rank Naruto in terms of power against the other Hokages? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.